when we talk about students, it's important to know what are their strengths as well as what are the areas in which they need to grow. And what often happens in school is we focus on, oh, well, we need to fix these things. And so one piece that language helps with is to help communicate that we're not trying to fix kids, that we actually see the brilliance that is in them, and our job is to help make sure that more of it comes out. There's research evidence that shows that when you tell a student, I am giving you this feedback because I believe that you are capable and that you are going to be able to make your work the best that it is, and that's why I'm giving you feedback, significantly helps students in building an academic identity and helps them see themselves as someone who is capable of doing those things. So that kind of language, like I'm giving you feedback because of this, and then to actually give them feedback that's helpful, like I think this part's really strong, this part needs some work around this, maybe you can tweak this part, right? Some really specific language that helps students grow academically is helpful for that. Then there's also language around reinforcing. So when we are trying to make sure students keep doing it, that's where that language comes up. Reminding language, so when a student forgets expectations, to remind them of those expectations in a way that isn't punitive is an important kind of language. And reminding language, the cool thing about reminding language is it doesn't have to only happen when a student is not doing the thing that you want them to do. It's actually, reminding language can happen before you even start something. So for example, if we're going to do an activity, we might say, okay, we're going to work in a group. What do we need to think about so that everybody feels heard and everybody feels productive in this group time? And then you use that to then assess how did it go at the end. You reflect back and you say, hey, before we started this group work, we said that we were going to take turns speaking. We said that, we were going to make sure that we would invite people in if we didn't hear them talking. How did that go for you all? And so there's that reminding of this is what we care about as a community and this is how we take care of each other. That's a constant reinforcement of that.
What game would you like us to play together?
Musical chairs?
You got it. Before we move, let's just have a reminder on how we play that and how we move safely. And Manny, since you chose it, could you help us remember how to stay safe and how to have fun with that game? Go ahead.
No pushing, and you don't touch the chairs when the music is not stopped.
Redirecting language is when a student's behavior kind of starts to go off track and you need to help them get back on track. And that is about having really brief ways to tell a student that they need to do something, right? So instead of saying like, you need to push the chair in, you can just say chair, and then they push the chair in, right? Those are things that are helpful for students to redirect and, or hands. Let's say a student's having a hard time keeping hands to themselves. You could just say, check your body, right? Those are things that help a student remember what they're trying to do. And that is coupled with, obviously having had that conversation before, and it's not the first time they're hearing that.
You know how, we do calm bodies? Calm bodies mean, hands to self, and this is how we do it. We're keeping our hands to self and calm body signal. If I'm touching Sasha, you will give me a calm body signal.
One important thing about language is that we use language to help students envision what it should look like. And so envisioning language actually is really useful in terms of thinking about behaviors and the ways that we want students to behave in our classrooms, because oftentimes people say what we don't want, like don't run. But what happens when we say that is that the picture that is happening in that student's mind is of them running. And so instead of saying don't, you actually just say what you want. So instead of saying don't run, you say walking feet. And then people walk, right? Those kinds of shifts in language to what is it that we want to see versus what we don't want to see are really, really helpful for students so that what they are picturing in their head is actually the thing that we do want.
We're gonna share out with our partners at our table first, and then we'll share out for our Lisa Frank stickers. If you're sitting in the same seat as Desmond today, you're gonna be sharing first, and then I'm gonna have you pass it across the table. So we got Camilo, Joel, Diego, Julieta, Shanti, Max, and Desmond. You guys share first. Make sure, team, that you're tracking your speaker. Make sure that person feels heard, because maybe they have something that you forgot to add to your list of ways that you are a better writer. All right? All right, corner person, you guys can begin. Go.
I think especially right now, after being on distance learning, away from our community, most of our students isolated, the language is so important in just building that trust with our students, and saying that we're being explicit about, why we're here and that we're here to earn their trust and to get to know them, and, that we're here to support them and see them through to wherever they want to head next after high school. So, yeah, like language is everything.